The Mercy's hand drifted silently through the void between stars, her hull gleaming white against the cosmic darkness. Red crosses blazed prominently on her sides, marking her as what she was, a medical vessel of the Terran Relief Corps, carrying desperately needed supplies to the plague-stricken colonies of Kepler 442b. Captain Sarah Chen had made this run dozens of times, always under the protection of ancient galactic law that deemed medical ships inviolate. The Zephyrian Empire apparently had other ideas. "Captain, we're being hailed," Communications Officer Torres called out, his voice tight with concern. "It's a Zephyrian dreadnought, the Void Hammer." Chen's blood chilled. The Zephyrians had been expanding aggressively for the past decade, but they'd never directly threatened a medical vessel. "Put them through." The view screen flickered to life, revealing the angular face of a Zephyrian commander, his silver eyes cold as winter starlight. "Human vessel, you will submit to boarding. Your cargo manifest indicates medical supplies our own colonies require." "Commander, this is a protected medical vessel under Article 7 of the Galactic Accords," Chen replied, keeping her voice steady. "We're bound for Kepler 442b, where over 2 million colonists are dying from the Centauri plague." The Zephyrian's expression didn't change. "The Accords are human constructs. We recognize no such protections. Prepare to be boarded, or be destroyed." Chen felt her crew's eyes on her. The Mercy's hand was unarmed, helpless against even a single Zephyrian warship, let alone the 3 that were now decloaking around them. But there was something else, a protocol she'd hoped never to use, buried deep in Terran Fleet Command's most classified files. "Torres, open a priority channel to Earth. Emergency frequency Omega-7. Her communications officer's fingers flew over his console, confusion evident on his face. Omega-7 was a frequency that supposedly didn't exist, a ghost frequency from humanity's darker past. But Chen remembered her grandfather's stories, whispered tales of the Great Silence, when humanity had pretended to be nothing more than peaceful explorers while hiding something far more dangerous in the shadows. "Channel open, Captain." Chen took a deep breath. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the medical vessel Mercy's Hand, registration TRC 4471. We are under attack by Zephyrian forces in violation of the Galactic Accords. I am invoking Emergency Protocol Lazarus. Repeat, Protocol Lazarus is now in effect." Silence stretched across the bridge. Even the Zephyrians seemed to hesitate, their weapons still charged but not yet firing. On Earth, 12 light-years away, an automated system that had slumbered for 3 centuries suddenly stirred to life. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in trenches so deep that no natural light had ever touched them, ancient titans began to wake. Admiral Marcus Thorne had been enjoying his retirement on Luna when the emergency klaxon pulled him from his garden. At 93, he was one of the last living officers who remembered the old fleet, humanity's real fleet, the one they'd hidden away when the galaxy had welcomed them as peaceful newcomers. "Sir," his aide stammered as Thorne strode into the emergency command center, "Protocol Lazarus has been activated. The Leviathan-class vessels are coming online." Thorne's weathered face went pale. He'd hoped this day would never come, that humanity could maintain its facade of weakness forever. But the Zephyrians had crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. "How many ships?" he asked quietly. "All of them, sir. 47 Leviathan-class dreadnoughts, 12 carrier groups, and the Ragnarok." "The Ragnarok." Thorne closed his eyes. Humanity's first and most terrible creation, a ship so powerful that its very existence had been deemed too dangerous for the galaxy to know. A ship that could crack planets. Time to the Kepler system. "The lead elements will arrive in 40 minutes, sir. The Zephyrians don't know what's coming. Underscore 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 underscore. Underscore 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 underscore. Commander Vexstar of the Void Hammer was growing impatient. The human medical ship hung before him like ripe fruit, and his boarding parties were ready. Humans were weak, everyone knew that, they'd never even fought a proper war since joining the galactic community. "Sir," his sensor operator called out, "I'm detecting spatial distortions. Multiple ships dropping out of hyperspace. Zephyrian reinforcements?" Vexstar asked absently, still focused on the medical vessel. "No sir, the signatures are unknown." Vexstar spun toward the tactical display just as space began to tear open around them. But these weren't the small, neat holes that civilian ships made when dropping from hyperspace. These were massive rifts, like wounds in reality itself. The first ship to emerge defied comprehension. It was vast, easily 3 times the length of Vexstar's dreadnought, and looked like it had been carved from a single piece of midnight. No lights adorned its hull save for 2 crimson points that blazed like malevolent eyes. Weapon ports lined its flanks like the scales of some primordial beast. Then another appeared. And another. Within minutes, 47 impossible ships surrounded the small Zephyrian task force, their presence so overwhelming that several of Vexstar's junior officers actually whimpered. "This is Admiral Thorne of the Terran Defense Fleet," a voice crackled across all frequencies, calm as death itself. "You have attacked a medical vessel in violation of galactic law. You have 30 seconds to withdraw, or you will be destroyed." Vexstar's pride warred with his growing terror. "Impossible. Humans don't have a fleet. Your ships are science vessels and cargo haulers." A pause. Then. "Those were the ships we wanted you to see. These are the ships we hoped you'd never force us to show you." 20 seconds. Vexstar looked at his tactical display. Each human ship was reading as having more firepower than his entire task force combined. It was impossible. It had to be a trick. "Time," came the calm voice. The space around the Zephyrian ships suddenly blazed with coherent light. When it faded seconds later, only debris remained where the Void Hammer and her escorts had been. Captain Chen stared at the viewscreen in awe. The massive human warships hung in space like sleeping giants, their presence both terrifying and reassuring. She'd always wondered what her grandfather had meant when he'd said humanity was playing a longer game. Now she understood. "Medical vessel Mercy's hand," Admiral Thorne's voice was gentle now, almost grandfatherly, "you are cleared to continue your mission. No one will interfere with you again." As the medical ship resumed course for Kepler 442b, the ancient warships vanished back into hyperspace, returning to their hidden lairs. But across the galaxy, the message was already spreading: humanity was not what it seemed. The sleeping giants had awakened, and the balance of power had shifted forever. The Great Silence was over.